Have you ever wondered why your forehand volley is so difficult to hit? And backhand volley, it's okay. You can get away with it, or you're actually much better on the backhand volley than your forehand volley. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that I talked about with my old coach, Jimmy Arias, who was number 5 in the world. I'm going to teach you what he did to make his forehand volley better. And it also helped me too. If you're just starting out, you don't have to watch this video, but go and watch a couple of other videos where it tells you, okay, you know, this is a Continental Grip, this is a Eastern, semi-Western, or Western, stuff like that. If you watch that and you know what grips are and which grip you're using, a lot of times the textbook way of hitting volleys, slice, and serve is the Continental. So the Continental is your knuckle is on the second bezel of your racket. So this is the top one. This is number 2. So second bezel and number 2. Now, when you hold this grip, it's a very old traditional grip. It's always in the textbooks. If you hold that Continental grip, you really have to lock your wrist back a lot to get the forehand volley. And if you don't, the balls will pop up, you get too much slice, and you have to really turn a lot to get that volley out in front and keeping the racket face facing where you want to hit to. When I was 12 and 13, my coach said, your backhand volley is great, but your forehand volleys suck. So he literally said that to me. And I'm like, I don't know why it's bad, but I was actually, by the way, I was number 1 in the nation, or number 1 in 12s in Florida, and then I was number 3 in the nation in under 14. So I wasn't a bad player, but my coach told me, your backhand volleys are great, but your forehand volleys suck. Why is that? That's his job. I don't know why he asked me, but he said that to me, and I'm like, it got me wondering. I was like, why is that? I was trying to figure it out, but I couldn't figure it out at that time. But when I was around 17, 18 years old, my coach, Jimmy Arias, he sat down with me. We were playing points and practicing and, training. And one day we just sat down after a volley drill. He told me, hey, you know what? I don't hold an actual Continental grip on my forehand volley. And I'm like, or even volleys in general. I'm like, what? What do you mean? And he's like, I hold a cheating Continental grip. And I'm like, what is that? And he's like, I cheat over. Basically, it's not Continental. And I cheat over. It's more towards the Eastern side. And that's much easier on the forehand volley. I'm like, really? Let me try. And then I held the grip. And my grip, when I was 17, 18, it was actually the cheating Continental that Jimmy Arias was talking about. I was like, huh. And then I thought, oh, wow. Long time ago, when I was 12 or 13, I was sticking to that Continental grip, the textbook Continental grip, and I couldn't hit a forehand volley or finish it off. And that's why my coach said, your forehand volley sucked. I was like, whoa, that's why. And then Jimmy said, yeah, but the thing is my backhand volley is suffering because of that. So I turned the grip back to Continental grip, textbook Continental grip, and then when I try to finish it off, when it's an easy ball, I turn it back and just finish it off. But on the fast ones, I just hold a cheating Continental grip, and I just use the wrist to hold it back and bump it. Or on the backhand volley, it does have a awkward movement because your wrist is in this position, which is a very weak position when you hold a Continental grip. But if you're strong enough, you can get away with it, because when you're trying to not finish off the point and you're just bumping and trying to guide the ball where you want it to go, it's actually doable. But if you're trying to hit a really penetrating shot on the backhand volley and you're attacking it, you do need to change it back to regular Continental to finish it off. So that's something I wanted to talk about. I guess I could show you the examples of why holding a textbook Continental grip is tougher to hit. So I'll show you. Okay, so since I only have one ball machine, I don't have a feeder, I'll just show you going back and forth. But on the forehand volley, if you have a textbook Continental, you have to turn and keep the racket out. I mean, we talked about this. If you turn, the racket's going to go back most of the time. So it's actually really hard to hold a Continental grip and keep the racket face out in front and turn to hit the volley. So if you don't turn on the Continental, most likely your volleys are going to suffer because the racket face is, you can't make the racket face. So it's very hard. You have to cock it back so far back to get the racket face. And most of the time, if you don't, it's going to pop up like that. So it's very tough to do. Oh, then just turn. But the thing is, if you're playing at a higher level, even when you're 12, they're hitting 60 miles per hour at you. When you're at the net, when they're passing you, you're not going to be turning and hitting the volley. It's just going to be your wrist and keeping your wrist still to get the solidness, So basically, you hold the Continental grip and you hold it here. I mean, it's very easy. You could just test it at home. The racket face is so much easier to make versus the Continental where you have to turn it. It's just ridiculous. So on the backhand volley though, it becomes a little bit tougher because you have to rotate with the cheating Continental Grip. You have to rotate it to get the racket face down, or racket face more square to the target, like that. You see that? That's a very awkward, and you could kind of hurt your wrist too if you're not strong enough. But the thing is, if you're strong enough and you get used to that, you could still do it. Now, if you want to hit more powerful volleys, then you just switch over to the Continental, which is much easier to hit and finish off. Here, I'll show you if I could get a good ball here. See, like on that, like it's a Continental Grip, I don't have to do much because it's already in the strong position. You see that? But if you turn it back to cheating Continental, it's not easy to finish it off. It's more of a bump volley. So when it's a slow one, you do change it and hit the put away volley with the actual textbook grip. This is actually one of my most watched videos for Korean, because the Korean audience don't have, I mean, even here in the US, you don't get to chat with real top players, like top 10 players or top 50 players, and get their actual feedback. It's actually one of my top viewed videos because people have trouble with volleys. It's very common. It's very obvious because if you have the Continental Grip or textbook grip, it's just very hard to do. And I've had arguments where people are like, because people love textbook in Korea, like they just want it in a certain way. But the thing is, now they're a little bit different because I had my YouTube, and a lot of coaches and former players actually were able to change their mindset. But the thing is, even now, the cheating Continental Grip is actually used by doubles players too. It's not just used by singles players, but it's actually used by top doubles players in the world too. So it's not something that is very unconventional or like unorthodox. It's very common grip. So check your grip as well. If your forehand volley is actually much easier, it probably is not a full Continental Grip. And if your backhand volley is suffering, it's okay to like maybe stay in the middle somewhere, like, okay, cheating Continental versus a textbook grip. Just slightly turn it a little bit and it'll make both volleys a lot easier. So that's my tip for today, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the 10 years of suffering of not being able to volley on one side into this one video. I try to do it in one video. I hope it helps you out, and stay tuned for the next video. Thanks.